It's got it. We got it. We're oh, whoa, it's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. I'm here with
coupon code.
Promo code, dude.
Promo code.
Promo code and the illusion hiding the Skaterix, dude. Happy New Year, my brother. Happy New Year, man. Yeah. Oh, Gunler. Look, Gunler's comes in hot, dude. Hot with this popcorn, dude. Jane Black's here, dude. All right, dude. We're doing our first ride in the Skaterix, dude, of 2022, dude. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Let's hear about the home birth, bro. I want to hear all about this home birth thing, dude.
Oh, the home birth, yeah.
The home birth. Like in the last 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, it was really
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, you were
last Friday.
Last Friday.
Yeah, so her name is Iman.
9 days ago.
She was born on the 31st, New Year's Eve.
Wow.
At 1:47 p.m. And it's interesting. She was born. She actually came out between the two calls to prayer on Friday, because we have a Friday prayer at the mosque right next to our house. And there's a call to prayer, which is the first one at 1:45, and then there's the second one at 1:50. So she was born in between that, which was really beautiful. And we had a midwife, which was amazing, who is we've known her for many years. And so it was very different than the hospital, obviously. So the past three previous kids were born in the hospital, and that was it's just so much better at home. I mean, for obvious reasons, but it went surprisingly very smooth. And the labor literally was like lightweight on and off for about a day or two. And then when it came in, and it lasted for about an hour and a half, like hard, and then it was done. So it was really easy, fortunately.
So you had a midwife and the rest of the children, and that's it?
So the midwife was there. My mother-in-law came and took the kids to my brother-in-law's house down the street. And so it's just me and my wife and the midwife, and then the midwife's assistant.
Wow.
We had a pool, like a tub set up in the living room. So we had the baby in the water. It was nice. One of the interesting things is that when the baby came out, the midwife was saying that, typically the hospitals, they'll cut the umbilical cord right away. That's like a thing in the hospital. They're very quick to cut the cord. And she says this is the greatest tragedy, because that when you feel the cord, it's still actually pulsing.
Sure.
There's a pulse inside the cord. And so because there's still all the nutrients and all the remaining of what the baby is meant to get is still coming to the child. So you're supposed to wait until the pulse goes away, until the pulse in the umbilical cord stops, and then you cut. And then you kind of you run your hand down the umbilical cord, and you drive all the fresh blood into the baby, and then you cut it. So it was interesting, because she was far more pinker and redder and didn't have eczema or any of those other issues. So little things like that. It's like and all the formalities of the hospital and all their bells and whistles and all that. They got a little like way to make money on every little protocol and thing. So it's just simple at home and beautiful. It was really nice.
That's cool. Small, intimate. Candles, incense. What's the vibe like in the living room? Did she move like a
well, it was daytime. So
do you have hardwood floors or carpet?
We have hardwood floors with carpet.
Okay.
So we have we are Muslims, so we have the typical Persian rugs, of course. We got to have the Persian rugs.
Did you get a deal on them?
I have known to get some coupon codes and promo codes. No, we just played nice, like sort of not mood music, but like, sort of the nature sounds and just very calming, serene sound effects to keep her calm. We were going to play a little Slayer, but we decided that Slayer probably wasn't going to be the best environment for the child.
You didn't think Rain of Blood was the appropriate tune.
Yeah, it really wasn't. Doesn't really go well with
so you're in the living room. You've moved all the furniture. You have it's a blow up pool, I gather, right?
Yeah.
Blow up pool.
I hooked a hose from the sink.
Okay.
I'm running fresh water from the sink into, nice fluorinated, full of fluoride water, of course. No, but it's running it into the tub there, warm water. And
okay, so you got that going on. No, what's your this is just strictly curiosity. What's your water control situation like outside I imagine you're in this tub. It's people are moving water. You got towels all over the floor.
She's in the tub, and the tub is like, it has very what do you call, rigid walls. So the walls are just straight up and down. It's like a pretty deep, actually. And,
it's rectangular.
It's an oval. It's oval, but the walls itself, in other words, the walls are not, they're pretty firm, so you can rest on the walls of the
because I'm still round kiddie pool, right? Okay, yeah, so
you would think it would be a kiddie pool, but it's not.
So it's an oval. It's an oval.
It's specifically designed for home births. It's called a birthing.
So it's super stable and sturdy and
stable. She's
ergonomically correct. Are there stirrups Are there stirrups and stuff?
There's no stirrups. No stirrups. There might be one stirrup, but she was using me as a stirrup, because I was there. Just she's holding on to me, and we're just helping her, and the coach is there, and we're just pushing through it.
So this is like, that's just all curiosity. This is bomber high impact, like rubber, no potential for like it popping and
no potential for it popping. I guess things could go wrong, if like the kids are in the house and someone throws a dart and it
Well, no, so you didn't have did you have your oldest boy there?
No kids were there.
No.
So yeah, she started going into labor around 12:30, and then immediately my mother-in-law came and the midwife came, and the kids were out, and
too much for the children.
Yeah, I mean, the sound effects alone would probably be a little bit traumatizing. So
interesting. So you're in the thing. You got the mood music.
Have you
going.
done a home birth, or you did everything in the hospital?
We were at the hospital. I'm stoked we were, because he had one of the umbilical cord like wrapped around his neck a couple times.
That happened on my third.
It was. That's rough. I could see doing it for another child down the line. The first one, you're such a rookie at the thing. You're like, this is wild. Now I know. Now I would know. I would have my emotional thing under control, right?
Yeah.
You were. I'm sure you were pretty alpha mailed out, dude. Did you? All right.
I was feeling pretty manly at the time, afterwards.
Did you have a tool belt on, like wading boots? Like what was your outfit like for this birth?
You ever seen the movie The Professional?
Trench coat.
No, I was wearing a black tank top.
Okay.
and with like a leather like gun holster. But I didn't have a gun. It was just
It was
my gloves, my
it was your snack bag, your salsa, like an holster with your salsa, dude. An emergency burrito on hand. Like, so this is taking longer than we thought. I got my burrito.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just my normal clothes, man. I only wear black. I only wear black long shirts, black long sleeve shirts. So I was wearing a black long sleeve shirt. Like
okay, Neil.
My black pants. I'm not exciting when it comes. I didn't dress up.
Like you don't have big wardrobe decisions in the morning.
I didn't have a birthing wardrobe for picked up.
Now foot gear. No
foot gear could have been like gripped, like the what do you call it?
Well, I figure as you're the alpha, I figure you're the alpha, right? You're the male, but you got the midwives like on duty, the assistant's the runner. Like, go get this.
My REI sort of
webfoot thing. Yeah, water socks. Yeah,
came like right in time in clutch. They came Amazon at 11:30. I strapped them on at 12:30. I was in position. I spent about 10 minutes in the mirror, just psyching myself up in the bathroom because I need to get in the zone. There was a YouTube course I was taking. It was like $97 or something that kind of got me.
Promo codes and birthing promo codes.
Yeah, that got me really it was really cool. And then I don't know if you've heard of what's his name? He's really humble. He's a humble guy. His name is he's like all about humbleness and like destroying the ego. He talks about it so much you would think that he's arrogant, but he's not.
Oh, you're being straight right now. I don't know.
How do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not being straight. I'm being a jerk.
So all right. So you got the thing going. The mood music's got crickets and bullfrogs and deers rustling in the bushes.
It was just
you got
like no, it was like, what do you call it? Those wind chime type.
Oh, okay. I got you. It was more wind chimes versus frolicking nature.
Just wind chimes and wind piano.
So you got this going on. The lights are at I would say dimmed, no, or full.
It was midday, so
midday, curtains open.
1:45 p.m.
Natural light.
Natural lighting, yeah.
Very nice. Ooh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Midday
I look in the backyard, which is our terrible, our garden, which is not kept, but nonetheless, it was there.
Incense, any aromas going on?
No aromas. You would think that would be in order, but no aromas.
No aroma. All right, let me see. We got this.
We kind of just were focused on the baby coming. No gear, no choruses, no promo codes. Just a little bit of music and some real just pushing.
And for those, and I know there's a demographic out there that would appreciate this question. What about your beard? Maintaining your beard in this situation, was there any special salves or carriers or anything done with the beard?
No, there was
no special birthing creams on, like.
Yeah, well, I there's always that fear that the hair is going to get loose, and going to disrupt the flow of the push. So I just made sure that I had duct tape, and I just duct taped it all back, and then we took a blow dryer just to warm it up to pull it off, but that wasn't that bad.
It's not. That's a nice touch. Looks good.
Thanks. No, yeah, it was cool, man. We kept the beard in order, and we just went for it.
So at 1:47.
So, honestly, when I was talking to my wife about this on the real, and I'm being serious, like Mary, when she gave birth to Jesus, may peace be upon both of them, she did it alone. there wasn't anyone there except the Archangel Gabriel. And so, you know, it's really the affair of the woman and God alone, really. I mean, you can only do so much. You can be like, push. And I'm like, really, it's, you know, there's really not much you can do. I mean, you can assist and you can motivate and you can, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's the affair of God. So everything went really smooth. Just a lot of praying and a lot of reliance upon God to make it easy, you know.
That's beautiful, man. I'm super pumped for you. That's a fantastic way to end 2021, man.
Yeah, it was surreal. It was really a blessed time.
So I mean, one of the, now this is just an interesting question is maybe to me, I don't know if it is yet, I haven't asked it, but since you home birth, right, you can essentially keep your new child, I won't even mention its name for this reason, off of the grid, correct? Like, you don't have to go in and start, there's no documentation with the state.
Well, I mean, I can see why people who are trying to practice like being off the grid, I can see the benefits of that. And I can also like have to accept the realities of functioning in the future and like what that might look like. So we are probably going to, well, not probably, we are going to, you know, do the birth certificate. And we are doing it purely for utilitarian reasons. I mean, I hate the fact that we have to do, we don't have to do it, but we need to do it for many reasons. So,
well, no, that's a curious question that,
yeah,
like,
you could just do it. I mean, what you do is you fill out the form and you send it in and you just give them the time, and the midwife is your sort of your witness to,
yeah,
or your whatever sort of a,
so there's, well, no, that's it, because most people do their births pretty standard and the system is there, right? So by selecting this thing, you have like this extra option, so to speak, of like, well, you don't have to, do you? Or no,
you don't have to do anything. You don't have to, but
that's my guy right there.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. But when it comes time for her to, when they need a license, when they need
sure
things, like a bank account, whatever that is, and the hope, my goal, and you know, to be honest with you, my goal is over the next 2 to 3 years is to get my family to higher ground so that none of that stuff is needed, you know. But until then, we have to do what we got to do. You know what I mean?
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, man, I'm so, thank you. It's cool. It's I was an only child, so I always say I think I'm overcompensating now. I have 5 kids, so it's beautiful to be.
You've got a tribe, man. That is.
Yeah, and it's what keeps me grounded and sane, and you know, our house is filled with love, and that's what we need. Keep it going, man.
Good for you, my man. Good for me. What else is going on?
Just trying to dodge this Deltacron, bro. I mean, I was out today. I was like, I was sketching, bro. Like, I felt this like anxiety in me, I thought it was pneumonia, but it was like a heart palpitation. Do you know the history of Black Seed and its relevancy in Islam?
Dude, let's hear it, man. Let's break it off.
Let me give you the actual saying of the Prophet Muhammad. This is not for the sake of, you know, preaching or whatever.
Well, it's
a nice thing to get a context of Black Seed, because
let me do this before you actually break that off.
It's a very short statement.
Okay.
It's very short. I'm not gonna get verbose tonight. I'm gonna keep it super super short.
Come on, dude.
The black seed. So the Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, said recommended foods as disease management. And so there's a saying that black seed, from his saying that black seed is a cure for everything except death.
That's from Muhammad.
Yeah.
Peace be upon him.
Peace be upon him. Black seed was obviously it has a myriad of different types of treats ailments, a lot of different types. But this is anyways, I'll send you the link. This is from the NIH, by the way. On NIH, on the NIH reference from NIH.
Well, for people who don't know, so the FLCCCC, the Frontline COOF Critical Care Alliance, right? They put out some information of protocols if you're faced with whatever mythical things are occurring that are real, but not real because they are mythically real. If these things were to occur from you and you can't get the mythical thing that's not prescribable, black seed oil is their alternative. But it's interesting because it's Nigella sativa, right? And I was like, I looked it up and I'm like, oh, it's black seed oil. So black seed oil, according to the frontline people who are the alternative healthcare people about all this stuff, is the equivalent of the horse paste.
Yeah.
And that's your thing. If you can't get the horse paste, do this. And I swear by my black seed oil.
I'm sending you this. This will trip you out. Okay.
Okay.
I need to get on this. I'm a hypocrite. I'll tell you that right now, but I need to get on this. But I'm gonna send you something right now. And
what do you get? What are you getting on?
Well, I don't know why it's not opening. It's a whole entire program from my teacher that is involving black seed, like a whole protocol with it's a 4-page PDF formula for health with using black seed. So it's just fascinating.
Dude, I feel this.
I'll send you to check out.
I feel the slightest anything, and I just go and take 2 big old tablespoons of that, and I'm like, good to go.
Yeah. Cool. Well, what should we get into tonight? What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna give you the award for you called it. So for those of you who don't know who caught it live because we scrubbed it, we were doing the anagram of the week, right? And anagrams when you take a word and you mix it up to spell something else. So Jordan, well, it was of course the Josh Harmony interview, and at the end he did anagram of the week, and it was, what was it? Was it you just did Omicron and Delta, or was it? It was.
I think it was Omicron and
Delta. He just did Omicron and he did the lines and he flipped it up and he spelled out Adolfo Hitleria, and it turns out that where we are in this thing is Jordan was correct. His anagram 3 or 4 weeks ago was correct. Because for those of you who don't know, if you spell, where is it, dude? I got it.
It was because Austria, when you heard what was going on in Austria, that was the big tell.
It was a big tell. Yeah, it was a big tell.
That was why I was like, okay.
So if you take the order, the first letter of the order of everything that's affected us in this mythical fantasy land of the COOF, it started with Alpha, Delta, Omicron, Lambda, and Florona. And Florona is the new one they're pushing, right? That's the flu with the Rona, bro. The Florona, that spells out Adolf. I mean, come on, dude. Omicron spells moronic. It's all.
Well, I got to be careful how I frame this, but my people, I say my tribe, they have a
skateboarders.
Not skateboarders. They have a very juvenile very like, I don't know, they have like a really good, if you look at Borat, if you watch Sacha Baron Cohen's comedic, I don't like him. I think he's funny, but I really don't like him at all because he's such a wretched individual. But that kind of like insulting that he does, like that is what's happening here. That same sort of like juvenile, super like, it just hits right in the core of you, like as the most like the greatest punk, the greatest troll. And it's happening over and over again, and everyone's just like going about their business and it's not registering, which is quite interesting how that.
Well, they've got everybody convinced on this coincidence thing, and like, oh, and because one of the big things they have to dispel is the miracle, right? If they can get people to not believe in the supernatural miracle and the God's ability to alter all dimensions of time and space and do all the things that God can do, it really does just box it all down into a very 3D 5 sense world we live in, where a can is a can and a car is a car, and a celebrity is a celebrity. But when you really realize there are no coincidences, it's all coding, it's all signals, and it's I think it's auspicious that today, for those of you who don't know, today is officially the 666th day of the coof, and here we are, dude, celebrating. Woohoo. Woohoo. 666 days to flatten the curve, episode 16 of Riding the Skaterix. Go ADOLF.
No, someone reminded me the other day, a good friend of mine said that the devil's work is very elaborate and very it's very awe-inspiring, but it's extremely weak. Frail. And God explains that his work is like the falsehood is like a spider's web. It looks very detailed and very intricate and very technical, but one little swoop of a fingertip will bring the whole thing down. And I'm trying not to marvel. I'm acknowledging that Satan in his work is there, but I'm trying not to marvel and like get all like, super tweaky, I'm trying not to tweak out as much as I was before, because it's very consuming to like get all into the whole, numbers thing.
Well, you can find anything, that part of the thing is it's self-fulfilling prophecy, right? You can find anything you want anytime you want it, if you really want to look that hard for it, right? Like if you really want to seek it out, you can find it. And so I'm right there with you. This year I've been definitely on the more of a selecting a seek a different way, right? So I looked at 2021 as the year of real figure it out, grow, shadows, dispel myths, all that, like really look into the mirror type of thing. And I've been on 2022 as this is like our year to really like prosper and excel and manifest some good stuff. And it's been like most of the big issues were resolved like right at the buzzer at the end of last year in our house, to the point where like the final thing I had to do was take our lizard into the vet for emergency surgery on New Year's Eve day, right? To just get that buttoned up. But I've noticed that the energy field perceptionally on this side of the calendar year, because my celestially, I'm a solstice guy, but calendar year, clean start, it's been a very different energy field. Like even today, I had like one of those like random encounters that like reaffirmed it. I was at church today, and I was talking to my friend who was having and one of my new friends from the church who had a situation with his wife's pregnancy and whatever. And I was talking to him, and I was like, hey man, like, I'm your friend now, like we're friends. And we put our children together. That's how we got to know each other. And I was like, you can call me, like, we're like, I'm your friend, dude. Like it's all good. And cause he's new to town and his family is. And I was like, let me share what's been going on in my life recently. I behind the scenes stuff, dude. And we shared, and all of a sudden this gal from one of the Sunday school teachers comes up, and she's like, hey, Hamish. I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm one of the moms involved with what you've been doing to stop the mandates at the public schools. And you posted that thing like 2 weeks ago on the Telegram chat about like, hey, you need to pull your children from public school. Homeschooling is a lot easier than you would think. And it turned out she's like the one of the off the grid preschool teachers. And she's like, look, I want to open up a school for children that are older than first grade. And I'm coming over here to like, you're the guy, dude. And I was like, it was cool talking to her, because I was like, I need to plug in Owl with some more depth, if you will, versus our world. And I was like, cool, I can focus in on helping this gal team up to build like a new paradigm of educating the children, because people are like fleeing like rats off the ship down here, man, on the school thing. Like they see the writing on the wall. People are just yanking their kids right and left. It's pretty, so, but just I guess what I'm meaning is like more on like it's time to build the new community year versus last year was.
Yeah, and I think I'm the throes of the throes of death or the last remaining my pissed off sort of feeling towards my community is sort of coming to a head, and I'm realizing that I have to change. I have to make moves. I have to do the difficult thing, and the hope is that if we can establish something, and there's things like we have, like there's aspirations we have, but we have to like start doing it, and God willing, we'll build something, and then eventually the hope is that they'll come around, but I'm not holding my breath, and I'm waiting. And I just, like my kids' school, they wanted to test him. I told them, and I haven't formally written anything yet, because I'm just holding myself back. My wife is really like sort of scared, I guess, that I'm gonna like kind of go like AWOL on everyone, and it's not that. I'm gonna definitely I'm just observing and collecting data. And this Monday they wanted my 8-year-old kid to get a Brovid test to go to school.
Really?
And so of course that's hilarious in my mind. And I told her, I said, look, this is not going to end. They're going to sabotage themselves. And what's happening is that they've distributed 500 million tests, by the way, as by the the Biden administration distributed 500 million tests, and now everyone's like happy that they can just test themselves in the comfort of their own home. Now, how convenient to hand out 500 million tests at the beginning at the height of flu season. There's this thing, it's called the flu. It's not flurona, or it's really yearly toxemia. I don't know if you remember this thing called the flu. It was from before.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Yeah, it was this thing. You get a sore throat and sniffles. But now you get the Omicron, and you get the sore throat with the Omicron, and you get the you know what I mean? Then you cough with the Omicron. And the Delta is like a sore throat too, but it's a different kind of sore throat. You know what I mean? So bottom line is I'm just trying to I don't know, man. I'm trying to like slowly get I'm really trying. I'm hoping my wife's gonna just put my son in homeschool indefinitely. And it's just, it's a lot to do it. So that's kind of where we're at. But, what I wanted to say, they're sabotaging themselves is what I was trying to get at, is that they're going to self-test and you're going to get everyone back in school. And there's going to be one paranoid Pakistani family that's going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get the Omicron. And they're going to take it and they're going to be told, they're going to say, hey, we can't go because we're positive, and everyone's going to stay home again. And they're going to go back and forth until, one person gets tested positive. It shuts everything down. What are the chances of that? Very high.
Well, it's super interesting. So, my teen demanded to go back to public schools this fall, right? Like demanded, like no if, ands, or buts, I'm going. And we were like, dude, this is not who we're not down with this. And she's fully awake to the whole thing, right? And I get all the information from the constant emails. And what's so fascinating is last week alone, I got 3 emails going, we're just informing you that somebody in your child's class tested positive, but was not within 6 feet of them during their class. So I'm like, it's like this weird thing that's going on where, like, I don't even know it does. Cause I asked her, I go, are there any people missing from your classes today? And she's like, no, I don't even think it's like, I think they're just generating these emails and stuff. Because one of the weird things is we began the year with, you had to do this check-in on this app thing. And I just stopped doing it, dude. And they have never, ever said a word to me about it. Like ever followed up, because at first it would be like, oh, you haven't signed your, like, done the login and you need to do it or we're going to send your child home. And now I haven't signed in on the thing in 3.5 months, like, or 3 months. And it's just, there's something so weird about what's going on in that, it's a dimensional thing. I guess that's what I noticed more and more is it really is this dimensional spiritual thing that we're up against, where like, like exactly, you got to let go of the anger of the community and all this stuff, because once you really and you intuitively already know this, is like, once you get your head under the grid a little bit, you realize that it is just all these weird smoke and mirrors and bluffs and shenanigans. And it's like that thing is you can hand out all the stuff in the world. Like, so in our house, right, we've been through the whatever it was twice now, right? Before it all began, we would have been one of the numbers. And we've had it since, I mean, last year, dude, during the D part of the phase. And we just ducked under the radar and just hit out. And all of a sudden, it became, we're not accounted for. No one noticed anything. I really do believe that it's the only people paying attention are the people paying attention. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I think I made a racist comment when I made fun of one of my Pakistani brothers and sisters. I've been, just for clarity's sake, I've been Muslim for 25 years and grown around and been around the Pakistani Indian community, which are very close friends of mine, and so many of them are very, very, very close friends. So I think the person felt that I was being racist by doing my imitation. I do a lot of imitations, but I apologize.
Yeah, anyone that sensitive, very, very, very sensitive,
yeah.
cannot be here, dude.
Yeah, very sensitive.
We're not politically correct on any level, dude. So kick rocks. Take your perception of racism and boogie on down the street, dude. Because I'll tell you what, if you want to do that, like the very nature of half the stuff that we all joke about, that just you get to pick what's racism versus not racism, because then you should be up in arms about promo code, dude. But you can't.
I think we're way beyond. I think we're way beyond all this at this point. You know, we should be, our mind and our hearts should be set on things far beyond these. That's a whole other. That's a huge trap, and it's sad to see that people are still hooked up on that. But it's whatever.
I like the fact that you got timed out too, dude. I like the fact you got timed out too, Jordan.
Oh, I got timed out.
They didn't even know they timed out the co-host of the show.
Oh, that's okay.
Scott's cool, man. Scott's a good soul, dude.
Anyone who knows me, I think should know by now. I'm the farthest thing from.
Well, again,
it's a Jewish guy who converts to Islam. With a black son and an Afghan family. I'm really racist. It's like an impossible feat to actually bring all those things together.
Well, who lives in an ethnically diverse Muslim enclave in the East Bay? Like, you're not some dude living in Westlake Village, Los Angeles, like doing your thing.
Yeah, he probably doesn't. He just doesn't know me. That's okay.
No. Well, I think that to me is the thing right there is who is anybody to come waltzing into our scene over here and claim anything, dude? We don't respond to.
Can we sue them? Let's sue them.
We should, dude.
We should get a lawsuit.
Well, I thought it was.
I'm going to write an op-ed and then get it and send it over to.
Well, if you noticed their name, it was a super cucked, wonderful name of the Canadian Border Guard. So what do you expect? What do you I had someone the other day call me out on something like about whatever, and I was like, and they always do that thing like because I have almost 13 years of product on this channel, right? 13 years of my own version of reality to view, and every now and then you'll get this thing where like they'll judge you and be like, you used to be like whatever, and I'll be like, you can't do that, because I have 13 years of work to tell you that I was an angry lunatic then too. I'm a happy lunatic as well. I'm all of the above, and I've always been all the above. I was reading something and they're like, it's sad to see this dude losing his mind via YouTube about all the stuff, because there was some sort of mythical when I was like some super namaste yoga pants hippie, I guess, on this thing. When I go every now and then, I'll go look back. I'll just randomly pull up a video and see where I'm at, and it's usually a dude who's pretty frustrated by the world at large, dude, handing out his version of not snapping, right? Like that's the sort of been the premise of my channel.
Do you wear yoga pants?
I don't. With my rollerblades behind the dumpster.
Not even like in the privacy of your own home. You never just put one on to see what they felt like.
No, the funny part is I'll be out now.
Feel like.
No, dude, I wear a wetsuit, dude.
Like, same thing, right there.
Same thing, right? I wear an ocean leotard. Difference. I wear a leotard in the ocean of rubber, dude, with my bulge just right there for the world to see. No, it's funny because I was reading this comment, and I was just thinking about like the whole premise of my channel from the beginning is, how does a dude like me stay positive in spite of a world gone mad? Like that's my entire channel, is like a dude battling not to lose his mind on a daily basis and stay sober. Like, and so when I get the people judging me like, you used to be this, I go, dude, go watch any one of my videos from I used to make videos at that yellow key chair in front of my early videos, the lonely dude, the like the pre-family videos, me ranting and raving about the Lagoon Project and China at City Hall. Like, I go dig up some of my old goody stuff. And like, I'm 100%, well, 100% is a big stretch. I am 180 degrees way more positive in light of the situation we're all experiencing than I was before this situation was occurring and I didn't have any children, right? Like lonely artist dude with his bicycle and his surfboards used to lay on some pretty pissed off rants. I remember taking so much shit, Jordan. I made some videos about how lame it was, what was going on in Syria. And I remember getting just steamrolled by people like, who are you to be like, and because I don't believe in war, dude. I'm anti-war guy, dude. And just getting tore up about it, dude. So you can't win on this thing. So yeah. Whoever the dude is who thought we were racist, kick rocks.
It's all good, man.
It ain't good, dude. All good. Hey, Mr. Canadian Border Guard, I got a cucked monkey t-shirt for you, dude. I'll send you free of charge, dude.
I'll buy you a black one.
Oh, yeah. People don't laugh anymore. That's the big thing I've noticed out there, Jordan. People don't laugh anymore, man. I don't see them laughing anymore. You see them laughing?
I can't tell with the mask on. It's like they're like, it's like, are you laughing? I can't tell.
They're not laughing, dude. I went into because I operate as just as I do, dude. I know.
I was like getting ready for.
Are you gonna? Hey, Jordan, with that outfit, you just need some white gloves.
Your tip jar
and mime it, dude. Just be a mime, dude. Mime it, dude.
I was thinking about I was telling the story to my friend that like how I became so sensitive to this whole scam called, this whole thing going on. And I remember that a long time ago, back in the early 90s, there was this girl who was really promiscuous. And, unfortunately, some of us hooked up with her. And then from that day forward, I was worried that I had HIV for 20 years. Like I was a super hypochondriac to the point where when people knew about me going in and out of psychiatric hospitals, that was really the foundation stone of that, because I was always scared I was dying. So I would be always checking my skin for any lesions of HIV to show up on my skin. I was in Germany on a skateboard tour. We were traveling around. We did the whole Munster Pro contest, and we did demos throughout Europe. And I remember I picked up a tarot card book, and I was listening in my headphones to Simon and Garfunkel and tarot card book. And then I did I did the LSD, like the 33 hits of LSD 1 year before I went there to Germany. Okay. Now listen, as a Jewish kid, took LSD a year prior, going to Germany. I had a flashback because we were skating super hard. I got fourth place in a street contest. I actually beat Eric Costin, by the way, at that point, which was interesting in a street contest, And I think Willie Santos he won. Anyways, this acid or whatever, the effects of the LSD started coming out of me. I think it was more just like I had like a fungal infection and I was going through all this like weird toxic. I had jaundice. I was all yellow and my tongue it was gnarly. It was crazy. But when I got to Germany, I started seeing on the walls, there's a graffiti artist named HIV. So everywhere on all the walls, I'm seeing HIV, and I'm like, this is a sign, that I'm dying. Long story short is I ended up in a psychiatric hospital and came out of that. But I can't imagine how many children right now are terrified to go outside, or just people in general that are slowly getting into this state of hypochondria, that they're terrified to breathe the air because they're going to suck in some Deltacron, And I just was thinking about that. You saw
the thing with the mom that got arrested for bringing her coofed out kid in the trunk of a car to a testing center, right?
I heard about that. I didn't read into it though.
It's like the real deal. She got like arrested. She stuffed her kid in the trunk, dude. No, man. There is a level of utter insanity that is. I've been tripping on it a lot. Like I have, Owl's pretty tuned in here at Rebel headquarters, and no, I don't think there's any way that they're not affected by this thing. Even me keeping like him out of the whole thing about it, it's still as prevalent as can be. And I keep him in a pretty pristine world, but he still sees it all over the place. Like it's weird. It's a freak show.
Dude, it's gnarly, man.
And it's interesting because I don't think if I was a parent, I would really even care. Like, you know what I mean? If I was just me going about my business with my surfboards and my skateboards and my video camera and doing what I do, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't be complying, but I wouldn't even be noticing either. It's really, the only reason I even sort of pay attention to it is because of the children, right? Like, but again, the solution's right in front of our face. This gal that I talked to is like, no, she's like, I got 16 acres of land up in the hills. I got, there's a cargo container up there. We'll get some trailers brought up in there. What do you think, dude? And I was just like, Jordan, it was this moment where like this woman who's fully respected in the community. I still perceive myself as a kid. Because I'm out playing and skateboarding, and I don't even look at myself as some like adult. Like, and she's talking to me about, so what are we gonna do and this and that, and I'm talking to her, right, in my role. And it's dawning on me that she's not talking to me as if she needs me to do something for her as like a peripheral. She's like talking to me as like, so what are we, I'm offering all this to you, lead us. And I was like, it sort of threw me off for a second until I caught up to what she was telling me. When she was like, look, you're the one who did this and that, and you've been leading this thing, and I got this land, and I already do the thing, and like, what do you think? We get a teacher and this and that? And I'm like, it took me a minute to be like, oh, she's not talking to me how I even, and I'm busy thinking about the surfboard I was going to buy this afternoon. I was like in La La Land. And I'm like, oh, she's talking to me as the dude who's going to pull all this together. Because my wife for the whole last couple of years has been like, you need to just start your own school. I'm like, that seems crazy, honey. Why am I going to, I'm not, And it's like, all of a sudden this gal's like, I got the land, I got the trailers. There's all the kids.
Hamish, that is like, I think you would be the most amazing curriculum builder and principal, even for the sake of just being able to infuse all those life lessons and all the things that are really valuable to a child's growth. I think it would be amazing, man. I think that is, and so many parents, man, so many parents need that. That should be one of my objectives, actually. Come to think of it, it's like I've been teaching skateboarding, meaninglessly, with all due respect to skateboarders, but I think it's a meaningless activity to teach skateboarding over teaching, over truly giving an education, and you can't even compare to. So, anyway.
Well, no, that's what's so interesting about like this thing, like, and I put it through and this is where I was even talking to her about it. I was like, why I was doing what I was doing, and I was already homeschooling, and I was sort of like letting her know, is like, or as I was talking to her, because she's like this established like teacher in our community that has this alternative school that's super like underground and like rad. And there's like, no, this gal's talking to me, and you can't get into her school. You get what I'm saying? Like, so, but I'm talking to her, and that's what I'm talking about is I go, as even the dude who's pretty together about this stuff, I bump into my own, like, what do I do? Like, what am I doing in this new terrain? And like, where am I looking to plug in? And that isn't safe over there. Those people are crazy. And this institution's now null and void over here. And like, and then I like it kind of even talking to you right now. I'm like, my lack of like knowledge combined with my like lack of attachment ultimately like is the help. I see it now clearly as like, okay, I don't come from a perspective of I even know what to do. I just know what I don't want to do, basically, like I don't want to be part of the beastly system, man. And there's these parents are terrified down here, man. I don't think people in the rest of the country understand the fear that's in some of these parents here in Southern California. Because everyone's like, you just do this, it's not that easy, man. Like it's not that easy just to pick up and just.
So let me ask you a question. Like for a lot of people, they have this thing, they have this fear, and I've seen it with a lot of our institutions. They say, well, we have to implement mask mandates. We have to do testing. We have to do temperature checks. And my theory, without even looking into the law, to be honest with you, I'm just like, you don't have to do anything, because there's tons of other people from the Jewish community, from the Christian community, that are not doing any of this stuff at all. And there's some who are, but there's many who are not. And it's like, they're so terrified to do anything different from the mainstream or from the general public, that they just continue towing the line. So have you looked into that as far as like any resources that could enlighten people on that?
Well, the interesting thing is, like, ironically, in California, it's this thing, right? Like my pastor said it today, dude, is people traded the shepherd, our Lord, the shepherd, for the shepherd of the state, whether it's in the your Social Security when you retirement, healthcare from the insurance companies, education from the education system. We gave all of our stuff to the system and allowed them to shepherd all of these things. And we're coming to this thing and to where like we have to go back to God with it and shepherd it that way. And I think what it is these things are all pretty like you don't have to do anything you don't want to. But and this is where I give Big Bear a lot of credit for him in putting this thought in my head, this splinter, if you will, was as long as you're not trying to take their stuff, they'll leave you alone. And I think that's where people have gotten in. The thing is people want to like the education thing's a prime thing. Most of these people want to break away from the system and get their money back. It's like, no, dude, pay the system to stay out of your life. Like, let them have your tax money for the schools you don't send your kid to, just to leave you alone.
That's the only way you win is with pardon my French, but it's FU money.
Yeah,
you have to have FU money to put them in there to keep them away.
Well, I don't even know if it's FU money, because the money's already matrixed out. It's the thing of like backing away from the system and just like, all right, when like all like major disaster scenarios, like, all right, on the airplane, they're like, if the airplane's going down and you need to evacuate off the airplane, leave all your bags. Don't bring anything with you. And the overriding human nature is like, I need this in my purse. I can't live without it. So you're willing to sacrifice your whole life to hang on to some document or some ring or whatever it is in your purse, because you can't live without it. And that's sort of the way I think the system is, the beastly system is right now, is you have to be willing to walk away and just leave the cards on the table and just be like, dude, I'm not here. I'm out of here. I'm going over here. I don't wish you any harm. I wish you the best. I'm out. And I don't want your stuff back and this and that. I just want to walk away. And the system's like, you know what? We don't even see you when you do that. It's only when you're like, hey man, I want my $5 back, dude, that the system's like, what are you squawking about? And so the state of California, for example, on the school thing, ironically, the state of California is one of the easiest states in the union to homeschooling. You wouldn't think so. It is literally, you pull your child from school, send them an affidavit within 72 hours, which is you just going and notarizing something, the forms, and you go to a website. It takes 10 minutes and you form your own school. Like we have
already formed the Richter Academy.
Yeah. We got ours is called Owl's Nest.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But once you do that,
one more cooler name than mine.
But once you do that, Richter Academy, dude, in California, dude, that's earthquake country, baby. You're shaking it up.
What? For real though.
So,
okay.
But it's this thing of like it's all in your head. Like I'll tell you what, like when I had Owl, I knew because SB 277 was already on the books. I knew I was never going to get him to go to public school, but we did all the doctor hustle and the whole thing in the beginning to get the sign-offs on all the stuff. We had all the medical exemptions and the whole thing for preschool and all that stuff. And then they changed the laws again. And I remember, and we kept him through the thing because we didn't have to update our paperwork, and they extended a class. But I remember the pulling back this last summer and being like, okay, like, so this is it. Like, there's no more driving to an institution for us anymore. And I remember sitting there being like, whoa. And it took 2 months till I was sitting there with Owl and he was reading, he was doing the word problems, like both sides of the brain. And he was just killing it on the word problems, math and reading together. And I was like, how did we get here? I was like, how do we do this? I go, we don't spend a lot of time doing this. How is he doing this? And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I go, it was another bluff. the system has so bluffed all of us to thinking that we need that particular institution more so as psychologically than in actuality, because he started asking to learn. He was ahead of me about like, no, we just do this, Dad. Like, it's all good, dude. We just do this. And then you realize like, oh, we never needed that building. Like, and I think what's going to happen is this. I think that there's going to be such a pullback from the thing that and people are going to wake up to this thing and they're going to be like, oh, if we don't need that, we don't need that either. Because like we're in California, right? If you lived in like, and everyone's making a big deal about the fire department. I lived in Pennsylvania for years. It's a volunteer fire department. There's no, it's the citizens. There's no like fire department, a bunch of jocks with their muscle things. It's a bunch of tractor driving dudes who go and they got the little thing and they get the call and they race down to the firehouse and load up and go put out the fire, man. And I think that like, that's where we're going to get back to the whole thing is realizing that we've been convinced of the monolithic fear that we don't know what to do without these institutions. And then you realize like I as a human being who faced all the fears, all the stuff, will tell you there is absolutely no reason in logical sense to send your child to a public education institution in the state of California ever again, dude. And you go, but I got this. There are so many people like me that are willing to have the space, are willing to go, okay, like if I put the word out to people, like I've offered up, I go, dude, if you've got a job and you don't have the ability to homeschool, we can vet me out and we can work together on this thing because I get it. And God's put me in a position to do this. And there's a lot of us out there that are new to this, but we understand that we don't need them anymore at all. Like their time is done. And I don't need them to stop doing, I don't need their stuff. I don't want their stuff, you know, but it's intense. Trust me. There's days I sit here and be like, whoa, dude. And then he goes and knocks it out of the ballpark, dude. Like where I'm like, all right, like, okay.
Yeah, I get it.
But even like you were even saying like the temperature check thing, even when that was going in the beginning and I walked up to the first thing, like I intuitively was just like, no, you got it. You can do his wrist. That's it. Yeah. What up, bird? What's going on? Say hi to Jordan.
What's up, Al?
He's out.
How old is he now?
6.5.
Yeah, he get along with my 8-year-old.
Oh yeah. No, we still got to pull that camping trip together. We'll come up and visit you pretty soon. We're almost through all of our.
I'm in my dungeon.
In your office.
In the office dungeon.
So what's going on, Bird? Do you need me to wrap up? Like what is Mom saying? Okay. All right. You let me and Jordan finish up here and it's that thing, man. I think that I think like knowing so you did it, right? You did it. You did something that for me as a dude who ideologically 100% was Mr. like, we need to do it at home guy, dude. Like I know what I saw. Like I have nothing but like, you're the bravest man I know. Home birth and that is like revolutionary stuff right there because you're trusting the basic caveman technology. Like that's deep faith. This is all faith stuff, I think. Like you put your wife and your baby in God's hands with a rubber tub and a midwife, man. Like that is balls to the wall, brother. like that. I don't know if I have that kind of courage. That to me is courage that I won't know till I'm tested. But like, so we're all doing it.
You have it. You have it. We all have it. It's there. It's once you commit to it, then you just like dropping in that vert ramp, man. Once you push down on the front, you're going in whether you like it or not.
Yeah, well, once you take the header, you know not to do that again. But it's that thing, right? Like I think people like you and I in the community here, like we all took our baby steps last year. Like, okay, like we did our baby steps. Like I remember I have the video of watching Owl. I was talking about the other day. It's like, how did I learn to walk? And I was like, you just did it gradually and surely. And then one day you went for it. And it's like, I think we spent the last year doing that, crawling around, kind of getting up on our feet a little bit, getting knocked down, which would be anger, emotion, all of these things of growth. And here we are in 2022 is we're ready to walk. Like you walked right on out of 2021 home birthing in your living room, dude. Like that's walking, baby.
It's walking. I know it was beautiful. It definitely gave me a little bit of confidence that, you know, that it's possible to move through the chaos, you know, with honor, you know, keeping your honor and keeping your dignity, because, you know, going to the hospital and doing that whole thing and like going with the nice Rad. I love paraplegic.
Yeah, good soul. No, and that's what I think, and that's what I was kind of talking about talking with this gal and realizing that what she was asking me wasn't coming from a place that I'm already doing it. And it just took me that moment to catch up to it and be like, oh, we're already doing it, dude. Like guys like you and me and our wives and the women out there who watch this channel and that we communicate with, we're already doing it. And it's like, it's that weird thing of like, I think there's a certain aspect, you know, you take a journey, what is a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, right? And I think that, you know, we took that first step and we've been walking for a while. And we didn't bother to look around and be like, oh, whoa, the car we left is a little dot way back there, over there. And we're like on the journey and we left a long time ago. And now we're
too late to turn back.
Well, it's too late to turn back, but it's also like because we have a relationship with God, like we have everything we need, right? And it's just us like letting ourselves be. I mean, I look at you, you're sitting in your new office, dude, new child, you walked right into 2022. I'm here. There's some big resolutions that's gone on in the background of my life that assures me that God's doing for me what I can't do for myself. And I go, and just talking to this gal today was like, oh, okay. Like, no, you're not a sideline dude, like wondering what to do. You're actually doing it. And this gal who's heavyweight confirmed it. Like she didn't.
No, I could see that. I could see you doing something huge for the Southern California region in as far as school and education. I mean, I could see like a chain of schools, and I can see just a revolution when it comes to just homeschooling and giving. You know, my son, he does Rudolf Steiner education, the Waldorf.
Okay.
He does private. He's the private online Waldorf education, and it'd be so cool. And I like it in comparison to any other public school or any other type of curriculum. But it would be nice to set up something like that, and you infuse, God, and you infuse practical life skills and help children, boys become men and women and girls become women, and you grow them and rear them in the most beautiful ways. I mean, that's so needed now, and everyone knows it. Everyone's tired of these public schools are destroying. It's a freaking indoctrination camp that just riddles a child with so much confusion and so many. It sets them back, and it sets everyone back. So I could see you doing something on a very massive scale because you have the ability to mobilize a lot of really good people, so I wouldn't think of it as like there's people that'll come and assist with.
Yeah, no, that's the interesting thing is with this thing is it's much bigger than I think we understand. I really am starting to really, and I've been sort of on this premise for a long time that more people are awake on a surface level, maybe not on a deep spiritual God level about it, or I'm pushing back on the system level about it, but on a real, like, it's almost like the opposite of Pocket's version of it all. I think that there's a level of awakeness that's out there right now where people are just kind of like looking around and waiting to see which way the wind blows. And like, all right, like, I'm ready to I don't want to be part of it anyhow. You like it just you don't get these big numbers of people not resigning and all of this exodus out of these cities. I think the big push right now, why they're so gnarly right now and putting their anagrams of freak show and the whole thing up is because everybody sees it and everybody's like, well, what is it? And it's just like what we're talking about. It's like, oh, you're already took the journey. You're already on the journey. Like, oh, now just get comfortable and walk,
All the witch does is freaking stir her brew and go.
Yeah.
That's all she does. I mean, she cackles and she throws hexes. And I think we're seeing all that right now in full force. It's just the cackling and the throwing of hexes, but at the end of the day, it's like it's all nothing. It's all just a mirage.
I'm super fired up on it all. Like in a like it's like I've gotten into a thing that it's so challenging right now that it's actually like easier to deal with versus when it was all
it's exciting. It's like it's a challenge. It's a good challenge. It wakes you up to rise to the occasion and not cuck and we can't get put my mask on.
Well, that's what's so interesting about it. Like that thing of being like, okay, man, like at least, right? At least I showed up for the time I exist in. Like this life, the only life we have, right? We've showed up for it. Like we showed up for it. We didn't know when we started chatting about all this. We didn't know when we made that first interview 10 years ago or 8 years ago, whenever it was, about it, when the world was totally different about the energy. And like we saw through it then, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed. I'm super happy for you, my brother. Like I look forward to the day that you can bring Iman, right? Iman onto the channel for our second newborn baby on the channel. Cause I do get it. I think that's what this is all really about is this bringing life and bringing more life and teaching honor and respect for life and dignity and forgiveness and how to operate in harmony with the land and the atmosphere and all of it. Man.
Absolutely.
So we'll end it there. And we should talk tomorrow, dude, on our game plan. I was just giving you your daddy time, but maternity leave's over, dude.
Yeah. My mother-in-law is leaving tonight, and I'm gonna be like full hands-on now. So let's talk.
Yeah. We'll talk and we'll get it dialed. So
we got to do the stickers and the other stuff too. So
yeah. With the stickers, we got some accounting to do to send your way and the whole thing. And no, dude, like we're gonna blow look. We're gonna flower this thing up. I almost said the thing I gotta stop saying is blow this thing up. We're gonna flower this thing up.
I don't say you're gonna blow anything up when you're talking to a Muslim, because I'll just get Homeland Security to visit my house and you'll be fine, but I won't. I'm joking. All right, brother.
All right. Good night. God bless, Jordan. Love you too, man. Peace.